welcome to today's deep dive. We've got a truly fascinating piece of internet reporting to look at today.
Yeah, it really is.
It's an article by Thomas Germain for the BBC, and it's all about this bizarre digital phenomenon called the TikTok Farlands. So our mission today is to kind of explore how users are deliberately hijacking social media algorithms to find these hidden, creepy videos.
Right.
And, what this modern tech rebellion tells us about the future of the internet. And since we have so many upper, intermediate, and advanced English learners listening right now, we're going to make sure to naturally break down some of the more advanced native vocabulary that pops up.
Exactly, yeah. Because this is a perfect text for learners at that B2 or C1 level. It deals with pretty complex, abstract ideas about technology.
Definitely.
So to get us into that mindset, I want you to imagine you're scrolling through your social media feed right now. It's endless, right? Just a constant, bright, perfectly sanitized stream of dance trends or cute pets.
Quick recipes, stuff like that.
Yeah, quick recipes, you swipe, you smile, you swipe again. It's totally predictable, and it feels incredibly safe.
But then imagine you keep scrolling, like way past the puppies and the cooking tutorials, and suddenly you hit a digital brick wall.
Right.
The happy music stops, the lighting gets dark, the content is just heavily distorted, and the internet gets deeply, deeply weird. You basically step off the map and enter this uncanny landscape that wasn't built for you to see.
Oh, that is such a great way to describe it. And actually, before we go further, you just used the word uncanny. Let's pause and explain that for our learners, because that's a fantastic advanced adjective.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So uncanny doesn't just mean strange. It means something that feels slightly off in a creepy or unsettling way.
Like a robot that looks human but moves just a little bit too stiffly.
Exactly. Or hearing a familiar song played slightly out of tune. It's that feeling that makes the hair on your arms stand up.
Yeah, and that feeling of unease completely defines the Farlands. It is grotesque, it's weird, but the actual mechanism of how you get there is what I find most compelling. You can't just casually scroll your way into it.
Right, the BBC article mentions that.
Yeah. According to internet culture reporter Aidan Walker, algorithmic recommendation alone will never take you there. You actually need a human to invite you in.
Which is wild, because we're so used to thinking of the algorithm as this all-knowing machine that just pushes content to us. We assume we're passive consumers. But here, human intervention is required. Users are relying on secret codes. They'll literally just mash their keyboards to create strings of random numbers and letters.
Just absolute nonsense tech.
Yeah, like DJSKLA, whatever.
Yeah.
Or they copy these bizarre specific codes from the comment section of other hidden videos, and they paste them into the search bar, almost like secret passwords to an underground club.
Right. And to understand why that actually works, we kind of have to look at how social media algorithms process data. I mean, TikTok's recommendation engine relies on a massive content graph.
Okay.
It groups similar videos together based on tags, descriptions, user behavior, things like that. So when you search for Funny Cat, it pulls from a highly organized cluster of popular videos.
That makes sense.
But when you type in a completely randomized, nonsensical string of characters, you break that predictive text map. You force the search engine to bypass the curated index completely.
Oh, why?
Yeah, it basically has to scrape the absolute bottom of its database to find any file that randomly matches that chaotic input. So it pulls up unindexed, zero-view content that was never really meant to see the light of day.
Okay, wait. I understand how mashing random keys pulls up the unindexed chunk. But the article also mentioned that in the comments of these weird videos, you'll see people typing the exact phrase, "I want to stay in the Farlands," over and over again.
Oh, yeah. Huge blocks of text.
Right. They're writing like 500-word essays of just that one phrase because they believe it triggers the algorithm to show them more creepy content. So are they actually controlling this highly advanced machine, or is it just, I don't know, a digital superstition?
It's absolutely a digital superstition, but it's one that inadvertently creates a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Interesting. How so?
Well, social media algorithms are what we call a black box. Outside of the engineers at the company, nobody actually knows the exact code. So this behavior, typing a phrase 500 times, operates like modern urban folklore. Users just want to feel like they have some control.
Right.
But here's the trick. Typing that phrase doesn't magically rewrite the source code. But the algorithm does measure something called dwell time. and comment volume.
Ah, okay.
Right.
So because thousands of people are spending 5 minutes typing out a massive essay in the comments, the algorithm just sees incredibly high engagement metrics.
Exactly. The machine doesn't care that the text says, I want to stay in the Farlands. It just registers that users are completely captivated by the video.
So it serves it to more people.
Yeah. In a roundabout way, their superstition actually bends the machine to their will. Not through magic, but just through brute force engagement data.
Wow, so we've established how people are breaking into this space.
Mm.
But we should probably explain where the name the Farlands actually comes from,
Mm.
because it's deeply tied to digital history.
Mm.
It's a reference to a very famous glitch in early versions of the video game Minecraft.
Yeah, early Minecraft. The game world was generated procedurally, meaning the computer built the landscape continuously as you walked, and it was supposed to be infinite.
Right, but it wasn't.
No, because the code running the game relied on 32-bit mathematics, which, has strict numerical limits.
So if a player walked far enough, literally millions of blocks away from their starting point, the coordinates got so large that the game's terrain-generating math just broke down. The digital world literally ran out of math.
It's such a crazy concept.
It really is. The landscape would completely corrupt, generating these chaotic, distorted landscapes with bizarre tunnels and fragmented structures. And gamers called this broken edge of the world the Farlands.
And Jessica Maddox, who is an associate professor of media studies quoted in the piece, makes a brilliant connection here. She says the TikTok Farlands operate on that exact same principle. It's the feeling that you've reached the absolute outer edge of the map where normal internet rules just don't apply anymore.
You've taken a wrong turn.
Yeah, a definitive wrong turn away from the mainstream.
And once users find that edge, they actively decide to go down the rabbit hole to see just how deep it goes. Which, actually, that's a great idiom to highlight for our listeners. Go down the rabbit hole.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, let's explain that.
So when we say someone goes down the rabbit hole, we're referencing the classic book Alice in Wonderland, where Alice literally falls down a hole into a bizarre fantasy world.
Mm-hmm.
In everyday conversational English, going down the rabbit hole means starting to explore a complex or strange topic, and you just get drawn deeper and deeper into it, usually spending way more time than you originally intended.
It is the absolute perfect phrase for this behavior. I mean, you start by just copying one weird code into a search bar, and 3 hours later you're investigating terrifying, glitchy video art in the dark.
Yeah. And we really should describe what people actually see when they go down this particular rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Because it's intense. It's pure nightmare fuel.
Oh, totally.
When the BBC reporter plugged a code in, his happy feed vanished. Instead, he found heavily contorted AI-generated figures. Like, the article describes one video featuring a surreal alien creature with its veins literally plugged into the wires of an old television.
Yikes.
And it's screaming in agony, while a normal teenager just sits there casually watching with a video game controller.
The imagery it's just designed to be an assault on the senses. A lot of these videos use an aesthetic known as the deep-fried meme.
Right, the deep-fried meme.
Yeah, so this is a visual style where a video is passed through dozens of digital filters until it's heavily pixelated, the colors are completely blown out and saturated, and the audio is distorted so loudly that it clips. It just looks degraded.
Like a corrupted file you were never supposed to open.
Exactly. And we also see specific creators leaning heavily into this. There's a creator named Shane Moore who makes videos that start off looking completely normal.
Like a fast food review, right?
Yeah, just a standard, boring review of a burger. But halfway through, the file appears to break. The video violently glitches into these horror movie-style scenes. And then you have other creators who produce content that looks more like avant-garde video art from some obscure museum.
Aidan Walker describes the entire phenomenon as a hodgepodge of internet history. And actually, for our learners, hodgepodge is another fantastic native noun.
Yes, it is. You want to break that one down?
Sure. So a hodgepodge refers to a confused, completely disorganized mixture of different, often unrelated things. Like if you make a soup by just throwing whatever random leftovers are in your fridge into a pot, you've made a hodgepodge.
Great example. And the Farlands is a hodgepodge because it's this chaotic mix of brand new technology like cutting-edge AI video layered with very old internet trends. It heavily references the era of creepypasta.
Right, creepypasta.
Yeah.
For those who don't know the history there, creepypasta refers to a genre of online ghost stories and urban legends from the early 2000s. Stories like Slender Man.
Or the Russian sleep experiment.
Yeah. People used to copy and paste these scary tech stories on forums, which is where the pasta part of the name comes from. Copy, paste, copy, pasta, creepypasta.
It was a time when the internet just felt much more wild, unmapped and mysterious, because today's internet is highly mapped. It's completely commercialized. So this trend is pulling from that old creepypasta era, mixing it with a 2019 trend called deep talk, and filtering it through modern AI to recreate that lost sense of mystery.
But, and this is so interesting to me, this creates a massive paradox.
Oh, the hashtag issue.
Exactly. The entire appeal of the Farlands is that it's unmapped and hidden. True Farlands videos are supposed to be like the dark matter of the internet. Zero tags, zero followers, maybe 30 views total, like stumbling upon an abandoned tape in a basement.
Right.
But because human beings love a mystery, the Farlands have become incredibly popular.
And inevitably, people are now trying to capitalize on that popularity by putting the hashtag Farlands on their videos to get views.
Yeah.
Which completely destroys the mechanism that made it special in the first place.
The moment you tag a video Farlands, it's no longer unindexed. It's categorized. It's a recognizable data point for the mainstream algorithm to distribute.
Yeah, as one user pointed out in the article, the real deal will never have a hashtag. The moment mainstream media, like the BBC, starts reporting on a hidden digital space, the true underground has already abandoned it.
I've moved on to the next hidden corner.
It's just the endless life cycle of internet culture. But let's shift gears a bit and look at the underlying psychology here. Why do people want to go there? Why spend hours mashing a keyboard just to look at a pixelated screaming alien instead of watching something funny?
Well, Jessica Maddox argues that the modern internet is fundamentally overwhelming. And more importantly, it's exhausting because it's completely frictionless.
Yes. Zero friction.
Right. Tech companies have spent the last decade designing feeds to have no loading times, no need to search, just a constant, never-ending stream tailored to your exact desires. Finding the Farlands is a search for friction. It's a strange kind of hope that you found the end of the internet where the feed breaks and you can finally stop scrolling.
And Aidan Walker notes that the whole idea of the Farlands is about deliberately subverting TikTok. And actually, subvert is a crucial verb to understand here.
Let's explain that for the listeners.
So, to subvert something means to secretly undermine the power, authority, or normal rules of an established system. It's a quiet, structural form of rebellion.
A tech rebellion.
Exactly. When you subvert the algorithm, you aren't just ignoring it. You are actively using its own mechanisms against it to achieve a result it was specifically designed to prevent.
You know, it makes me think of how algorithmic mapping works. Imagine a tech company hands you a glossy, beautifully printed tourist map of a city.
Okay.
The map highlights all the safest, brightest tourist traps, and the roads are perfectly paved to lead you straight to the gift shops.
Sounds nice, honestly.
Right. But what do these users do? They deliberately throw the map in the trash, jump the fence, and choose to wander down the dark, unlit, unmarked alleyways. Not because the alleyways are pleasant. I mean, they might be scary, dirty, full of screaming AI aliens. But they do it to prove that they still have the free will to choose a path that hasn't been monetized and predicted for them.
That is the core of this entire phenomenon. It is an attempt to prove that human agency still exists in a fully automated world. We hate feeling like predictable data points. And if we look at the broader cultural shifts mentioned in the article, this is not an isolated incident.
Not at all.
The Farlands is just one symptom of a much larger society-wide tech rebellion.
Yeah, the article points out that we are seeing this rejection of algorithmic determinism everywhere. Look at the rising popularity of dumb phones.
Oh, yeah.
People are actively ditching their hyper-optimized smartphones for old-school basic cell phones that can only make calls and send texts. They are deliberately introducing friction back into their communication to escape constant notifications.
We're seeing a massive return to analog technologies across the board. People are buying expensive film cameras where they have to wait weeks to see the photos.
Instead of just using the instant camera in their pocket.
Exactly. They are abandoning wireless earbuds to go back to tangled wired headphones. I mean, the backlash against artificial intelligence has grown so massive that even the Pope is giving speeches about the ethical dangers of automated living.
It's wild. Society is just rumbling with this deep desire to disconnect from hyper-optimized living. The Farlands might seem like just a bizarre meme for teenagers, but it's deeply rooted in a collective anxiety we all share about technology controlling our lives. It really is a digital protest against the machine.
It is. So let's recap the journey we've taken today. We've explored the creepy, uncanny world of the TikTok Farlands. We broke down the technical reality of how users leverage secret codes to bypass the algorithm's content graph.
Right. We looked at its historical roots, From the math-breaking glitches of early Minecraft to the urban legends of internet creepypasta. And we unpacked some highly useful advanced English vocabulary like Uncanny, going down the rabbit hole, Hodgepodge, and Subvert.
And we connected this strange behavior to a much deeper tech rebellion. However, I think we have to address the supreme irony of this entire thing, which is a provocative thought to leave our listeners with.
Ooh, okay. What is it?
Well, we spent this deep dive talking about how subversive these users feel. They feel like digital rebels hacking the system and escaping the curated feed. But what are they actually doing in reality?
Oh, they're spending hours and hours intensely focused on the TikTok app.
Precisely. They think they are subverting the machine by searching for uncurated content, but in doing so, they are feeding the algorithm incredibly high-value engagement data. They are basically training a completely new layer of the recommendation engine.
So the house always wins. Did the users actually subvert the machine? Or did the machine just find a highly creative, mysterious new way to keep their attention trapped on the screen?
Right. It's a bit like believing you've finally escaped the maze, only to realize the dark alleyway you ran down is just a new wing of the exact same labyrinth. The algorithm didn't break, it just adapted to their desire for rebellion.
Wow. It completely reframes how we view our own agency online. It really forces us to ask who holds the power in these digital spaces, even when we think we're breaking the rules.
It really does.
Have you ever stumbled upon a weird or hidden corner of the internet?
Yeah.
Tell us your story in the comments.